Thousands of supporters gathered in central Seoul on Saturday to protest the parliament's impeachment of South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol. Protesters chanted, "We oppose impeachment," and called for the immediate arrest of opposition leader Lee Jae-myung. Meanwhile, another huge crowd nearby staged a rally against Yoon, demanding he be arrested and urging the Constitutional Court to officially remove him from office. Yoon was impeached by the opposition-controlled National Assembly earlier in the month over his December 3 martial law decree. His presidential powers have been subsequently suspended, and the Constitutional Court is to determine whether to formally remove him from office or reinstate him. If Yoon is dismissed, a national election to choose his successor must be held within 60 days.
할렐루야 살아계신 하나님 아버지여 은혜를 잊지 마 정의를 우파에게 살아있음은 요즘 자오다
결국에는 대통령을 이름만 세워놓고 아무것도 할 수 없게 만들어버린 이 상황 속에서 자유대한민국을 지키고 반국가 세력을 척결하고 한미일 동맹을 유지하면서 우리나라의 간첩을 잡아내고 공산주의를 몰아낼 수 있는 유일한 방법이 계엄령이 아니었는가라는 생각을 많이 들었어요. 그래서 저는 계엄령을 한 게 오히려 너무나도 잘하신 일이라고 생각을 하고 현재 이 내란제는 성립이 저는 안 된다고 생각을 합니다.
자유민주주의 대한민국을 지키기 위해서 오늘도 우리는 광화문에 나왔습니다. 윤석열 대통령을 탄핵시키려고 하는 이 반국가 세력에 우리가 대항하기 위해서 국민 저항권을 발동해서 자유민주주의 대한민국을 지키고 그리고 이 나라를 갖다가 북한의 연방주의로 그래서 끌고 가려고 하는 수사파 이런 세력들을 물리치고 반국가 세력을 우리가 물리쳐서 자유민주주의 대한민국을 지키기 위해서 오늘도 우리가 나왔습니다.
얼마나 천재적인 작살입니다. 성경의 주님께서는 막 이야기 누님하고 주고받은 거 여러분 다 아시지요? 국민의 경찰이 아니었으면 제가로 하나님께 헌금을 드려주셔서
The United States doubled the number of its forces in Syria to fight the Islamic State group before the overthrow of President Bashar Assad's government, the Pentagon said Thursday. The U.S. had previously said 900 troops were in Syria, but Major General Pat Ryder, the Pentagon press secretary, announced that 2,000 were there and had been for a while. The Pentagon had been asked repeatedly in recent days and weeks about the U.S. presence in Syria and never disclosed the dramatic increase. Ryder said the additional forces had been in Syria at a minimum months. It's been going on for a while. He told reporters the increase in forces was temporary and they are there to augment the U.S. operations against the Islamic State group. He said U.S. Army conventional and special operations forces make up the bulk of the additional troops. Since the fall of Assad 2 weeks ago, President-elect Donald Trump has said he does not support U.S. forces getting more involved in Syria. The Pentagon urged Congress Thursday to avoid a government shutdown which will cost troops their paychecks over the holidays, according to Ryder. Even if they don't get paid, those troops will continue to be required to report for duty both overseas and at home, he added. The military payroll is just one of thousands of federal accounts, but one of the most visible to the public, that depend on Congress passing a continuing resolution by Friday in order to keep running. Other civilian personnel deemed not essential to immediate military operations will be furloughed, according to Ryder. A lapse in funding will cause serious disruptions across the Defense Department and is still avoidable, he said.
I don't have a number to provide, but again, we have been briefing you regularly that there are approximately 900 U.S. troops deployed to Syria. In light of the situation in Syria and the significant interest, we recently learned that those numbers were higher, and so asked to look into it. I learned today that in fact there are approximately 2,000 U.S. troops in Syria. As I understand it, and as it was explained to me, these additional forces are considered temporary rotational forces that deploy to meet shifting mission requirements, whereas the core 900 deployers are on longer-term deployments.
The number of troops that we've been told for quite...
Those forces, what they've been doing is all focused on the Defeat ISIS mission, and again, that core 900, approximately 900, those are going to be your longer-term deployers, right? 9 to 12 months, as I understand it, versus temporary forces, which are going to rotate in on a 30 to 90-day basis, again, as it's been explained to me, that are there to meet any type of emerging mission requirements associated with the Defeat ISIS mission. Sir.
Thank you. On Ukraine.
A lot of those forces are going to have already been operating there, you know, coming in and out, and doing those kinds of things.
How long ago this happened?
I don't have a specific date to provide, Lita, but my understanding is it's been for a while. So clearly before the fall of the Assad regime. So, yeah.
Would a potential shutdown affect aid to Ukraine specifically?
It's fair.
Yeah, I think it would probably be fair to say at a minimum months. I'll go back and look, but it's been going on for a while.
And
yesterday, Turkish defense officials...
In the event of a lapse in funding and a shutdown of the government, the Department of Defense will continue to carry out our fundamental responsibility and mission to defend our nation and the American people. Military personnel on active duty, including reserve component personnel on federal active duty, would continue to report for duty and carry out assigned missions worldwide to defend our nation and protect our national security interests. However, it's important to note that military personnel would not be paid until new funds are appropriated by Congress.
Foreign fighters this year with Turkey's preparation.
Objectively speaking, a lapse in funding will cause serious disruptions across the Defense Department and is still avoidable. Therefore, DoD urges Congress to reach a bipartisan, bicameral agreement on fiscal year 2025 appropriations and avoid a CR or worse, a government shutdown.